tripping. The whole makeout session, which I'm like, I don't know if it's because before, like maybe when her and Ace kissed,
it also just like out of everyone why Ace.
But it's like exactly, and so that's why like I'm annoyed too, because I just feel like there's not a certain level of respect like that's there, especially for her being the type of person that who tried to set all these boundaries when it came to Jeremiah and this and that.
Ooh boy. Listen, hey guys, welcome to Little Blackbird 91. Oh yeah, we gotta have a real conversation. Okay, now I sat on it, I slept on it, I even studied it, I went back to it. I'm gonna bring it to its natural conclusion. First and foremost, before you jump on anybody, let's go and review all the facts of what happened on this particular season. Because in order to solve this issue between Chelly, Huda, Ace, we need to go backwards to go forwards. And my arms are looking beautiful, wonderful. Listen, let's keep it a real conversation. Let's remember what we're talking about here. In the very beginning, we had Ace, we had Huda, we had Jeremiah, we had Chelly. Okay, now remember what happened. Huda and Jeremiah closed off quite early. Even though they weren't closed off, they were closed off, and they were very vocal about their closing off. I want to make it very, very clear. They were very vocal about them closing off, even though they weren't closed off. Okay, now it was very territorial on both Jeremiah and Huda's perspective. Jeremiah agreed to Huda's perspective in terms of we ain't doing nothing in challenges. It then later on changed that obviously Jeremiah wanted more time in the challenges to be able to be himself and engage with the ladies. Okay, by then it had been too late. Huda had said what she said to the girls, and some of the girls thought that Jeremiah was the enemy. Okay, cool. Huda does what she does with Jeremiah, and we know that Jeremiah leads in the end, right? Now, going backwards, also we know that also Ace seemingly had a liking and a thing for Huda. Okay, and he was pissed off at the fact that Huda and Jeremiah had locked off really early, was always trying to sabotage their situation and sabotage their relationship. Okay, this is from early. So I've said this. If you've watched me, my reviews, I've said this from early. Ace has always liked Huda and always wanted to pissed off when he saved Huda. And I said, why were you pissed off when you saved Huda? Why were you pissed off? Because you didn't have to save her. You decided to save her and then tried to use the fact that I was doing it for Taylor and I was trying to help Taylor. And we knew it wasn't about Taylor, right? Now, this is very important because I said to you earlier on, nobody gets pissed about a girl or a man who it really isn't somebody who can take your girl or man. If you feel like somebody can't take your girl or your man, you don't sweat about them. You only sweat about people who you believe could actually take your girl or take your man. Now, the situation with Ace and Huda is real simple. Ace fancies Huda. I've been saying it from the very beginning of this particular season. He's liked her and it's one of the reasons, not all, one of the reasons which fueled his distaste and dislike for Jeremiah. Because she was locked off so early, he never had a chance. Now, moving on, obviously, to then Chelly and Ace, right? Chelly and Ace, the issue that they've had is that Ace already knew Chelly. He spoke to Chelly when they were outside the villa. It never really happened. It never went through. Now, there's a 5-year age gap between Ace and between Chelly. And that 5-year age gap plays a big part because for Ace, he has to make sure he ain't going to get played. The way that he said in the sauna, this episode, about how he going to fight and win, tells me that for him, he never wants to lose control. So best believe that in that 5-year gap between him and Chelly, being age-wise, he's always trying to make up for the power difference and the power dynamic that comes with age and experience. So for him, he's always going to try and maintain and hold his position. Okay? All right? So when it comes to Chelly, he took a long time to lock in because really and truly, he was trying to play the game. He'd been trying to control it for a very long time. Okay, and Chelly too also was out here playing games too. She had Austin and then she had Ace. And now, so why am I pointing out this stuff, right? Because there was manipulation on all sides. Ace is a manipulator. Chelly's a manipulator. Huda's a manipulator. Let me say it one more time for you so you understand what's going on. Ace is a manipulator. Chelly's a manipulator. So is Huda. Now, whatever you look at it, you may say some are worse than others. I don't really care which one you want to say is worse than other because we're going to point out the real thing here. When Chelly had Austin and had Ace, she never wanted Austin at all. Let's be honest, it was never going to go down. Austin, the whole, oh, I'm getting liking you, I'm starting to like you, and by the end, you didn't like him at all. So you never liked him. You're a manipulator. It's as simple as that. I don't want anyone to lie about it. It's okay. Like, if this show is for manipulators. Love Island requires you to have some level of manipulation. So this is not about being bad or good. It's just call it what it is. Chelly manipulated Austin the whole entire time. Now, the reason why a lot of people don't want to call it out for her manipulating Austin is because you don't like Austin. You don't like him at all. So it's it's interesting. It's easy when people can spot Austin, but like Austin never liked Chelly. I don't think Nick ever liked Olandria, but y'all want to fight me on that situation. But we'll go about that. Let me not go down that lane. But I don't think Austin really liked Chelly like that anyway, right? But cool. She strung him along the whole entire time. Knew what power play she was making. Used it against Ace. Okay. I hear what you're saying, right? Now that is just to showcase the manipulation that she can hold somebody in position and use them for what she wants. She's a smart cookie. She knows what she's doing. Ace did the exact same thing. Ace made sure to hold different girls, and we saw how he did a Maya. Oh, I got boundaries. Oh, don't call me babe. Oh, don't touch me. And did all those things. That was part of his manipulation too, right? And we've seen how he's played with Chelly the whole entire time to get to the point that we are right now. I have to highlight that. Now, Huda is a liar. I'm just going to be honest with you. She's an exaggerator and a liar and a hyperbolist. She will hyperbole and exaggerate a story to make someone look bad. She did it with Jeremiah, and we saw how territorial she was when it came to Jeremiah in the very beginning, and how she told stories that were beyond what actually happened. She would take a story and twist it round and throw it to the girls and talk about how Jeremiah was. Now, I want you to remember there was a scene. This is very important. As much as Chelly's talking about being a friend, if I remember correctly, was Chelly, Sierra, who was it? I think Taylor. Were they not sitting down watching Huda when it came to Huda and Jeremiah, and they were laughing at her saying, oh, she's looking this way. She's looking this way. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. The girls tolerated her. They're not friends with her. Let's not lie. Y'all be tending to say that you're friends. I know she gave her great advice, but y'all tolerate it because the fact that you guys were sitting there laughing at Huda while she was having a situation with Jeremiah in the villa, I said, oh, no, y'all ain't real friends. It's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying, Chu? I just want to put that there. Okay, I just want to put that out there. Now, here's the thing. Huda's been manipulative because she has talked about the sisterhood when she knows the sisterhood don't exist to her. Okay, Huda is a user, just like the other two people in front of her, Ace and Chelly. Okay, Huda is a user. She used the sisterhood as a way of a weapon against the other ladies. And guess what's happening right now? Chelly is feeling the brunt of when you did not confront her about her being a manipulator and a user. This is what happens. When you don't confront manipulators, this is what ends up happening. They turn on you. Oh, you thought that when the manipulation was about someone else, when it was about Jeremiah, when it was about the Irish girl, when it was about Amaya, it was okay because it wasn't on you. But y'all didn't call it out. Y'all didn't confront her. Y'all didn't sit her down and say, hey, Huda, this behavior is unacceptable. Now you are facing your own demon because you've created a monster by allowing this situation to happen. Let's not blame no man here. Let's not blame no man here. Let's not blame no man. Okay, let's not blame Jeremiah because Jeremiah's not here no more. Let's not blame Ace right now because Ace wasn't with her the whole entire time. They tried to get rid of her. Let's be honest right now. You didn't confront your girl. So now you have not confronted your girl. You're facing your girl because this is what happens. This is what happens. This is what happens. This is why I can't roll with, let me chill. Okay, right? Let me chill. So because of that situation now, right? Okay, because of that situation now, yeah, you've allowed her to grow into, fester into this monster who is unaccountable and cannot be accounted for, right? And in that space, she's been doing whatever she wanted, right? You didn't confront her. You didn't call her out. You didn't sit her down and properly say, hey, look, the way you're behaving with Jeremiah is out of order. You're misbehaving. You're doing it. None of you wanted to stand up. Now you're here facing your own demons and your own monsters. Yeah? So that's one thing. Now, I know that Huda's a manipulator because that sisterhood situation, the way she was very territorial with the girls and calling them B words, all this kind of stuff, at the point where she was calling other girls B words, that's where the girl code should have been over. That's where Chelly, Sierra should have called her out. But now, look where Sierra and Sherry are. Look at where they are. Look where Sierra and Chelly are. They're like, they couldn't wait for this moment. They've been wanting to be able to call her out and cuss her out, but you waited so long. That's why they're having this hen meeting. That's why this meeting is taking place right now with Chelly and Sierra. Huh?
You didn't return none of that favor whatsoever. I don't feel like I'm wrong for feeling like that.
No, you're not
I feel like it
wrong
really was an
at all.
eye-opening situation.
Eye-opening where? There's nothing to eye-open, sis. You were all enabling her behavior way before, right? You were all enabling her behavior, right? You didn't have no problems with that. You sent Hannah home too. You sent Jeremiah too. Like, you have no problems. So this is what I'm giving that background there, right? Now, the situation with obviously Huda's behavior with the girls. Of course, we know Sierra was pissed off and she had a conversation with her a little bit later on and told her, listen, you got to buckle it up, buckle your ideas up, and etc. etc. Okay, all right. So I hear that. And then obviously we gotta understand that. Okay, that remember the advice the ladies gave us, same one they gave Jeremiah. Okay, let me do this now. Okay. The Chelly situation, the Jeremiah situation, right? They split Huda and Jeremiah and said, you need to explore the island. Now, I want to be very clear here. Huda's had very strong boundaries vocally about what she felt about how people can interact with Jeremiah. That was her boundaries. Now, here's the mistake, but I understand why Chelly feels the way she does. Here's the mistake, but I actually understand where Chelly's coming from. Okay, but this is such an avoidant perspective when you start expecting people to behave the same way you behave, because Huda was very I'm not going to get onto anybody's man, right? We have to remember the timeline of what happened. They told her, you can't do that no more. You have to be open. And at that point, she had to let go of that mindset of my man, I'm with one man, because they've told her you've got to actually play the game. Right? You told her to play the game. No, you have to hold yourself accountable. You told Huda she has to play the game and be more open, because otherwise she's going to be out. Y'all were helping her do this. Right? You were helping us do this. You said the same thing to Jeremiah and the boys kicked him out for that. Now Huda's doing the exact same thing. And remember, if you had left Huda to play the game she was playing before, I think she would have left Ace. I think she would have left Ace alone. It's the fact you asked her to be more open. Right? You asked her to be more open. You asked her to be more open. You asked her to be more open. You told her to go out there and be open. Okay? And so now she's gone out and she's been open. And that includes anybody. It's not, you just kept on saying, it's not Friend Island. You've been saying this. It's not Friend Island. Cool. That means everybody's on the table. Because you've said that you're still open, Chelly. You're not closed off with Ace. You're open with both Chris and Ace. The issue that Chelly has is you never communicated that you were unhappy. That's the big point. Okay? That's the big point. The big point is that now you've not communicated this standard. You've not communicated a standard that you feel like Huda shouldn't go after Ace. Why not say that? You're saying to Huda, because Huda had a very strong boundary for Jeremiah, she should also replicate that with Ace. Why? That was her boundary. My boundary does not mean your boundary. When we talk about boundaries, it's not my boundary means your boundary. It means that's my boundary. You know what I mean? That's how I want to be treated. If you want to be treated the same, you've got to say it. You know what I mean? If you want to, you've got to say it. So that the people know, rather than storing up all this anger and frustration right now, just go and have the conversation. Say, hey, babe, you know what? For me personally, this is what I'm saying to you. Like, I don't want to go there. Right? I don't want to go. I don't want to go that far. You know what I mean? We got to have that conversation. Because honestly, you know, this is crazy for me. You see what I'm saying to you? So for me, it's like for me personally, it's like you've got to communicate what your boundaries are and what your feelings are about this. Don't let it store up. Otherwise, it does become a thingy. Okay? So now I want to pinpoint something. Ace, like in Huda, is a massive factor. It's a massive factor. It is a massive factor. And I know a lot of people want to destroy Huda. Listen, you had your chance. You didn't. Okay? You had your chance to call out Huda. You didn't want to do it. Now you're dealing with the monster you've created. But hey, here we are. We're in this situation, and Huda, Ace like in Huda is a massive factor, because now we know, okay, now we know that your man likes this girl. This is the bigger issue. See, sometimes we throw principle when really and truly it's not principle. We just don't like the fact that it's you. Let's be honest. It can be principle, but a lot of times it's because it's you. Yeah, it's because it's you. And the reality of the situation is Chelly feels some type of way because she knows that Ace actually likes Huda, and there's a chance that Ace could actually do a thing with Huda. There's a chance. So there's a jealousy that begins to stir up in you, and it's okay. It's real. You just got to own the feelings that you have. You are a little bit jealous of the situation. I was a bit jealous. It felt like it was a bit too much, but I was jealous. You know what I'm saying to you? Because I know they like each other, right? Or at least I know that Ace likes her enough to want to play around with her. Okay, and so the reason why I'm saying that also is I want to go to what actually Chelly actually said. Let's actually play what she actually said. Okay, all right. Let's do what she actually said, because let's not forget that there was a three-way between Chelly, Ace, and Sierra. Sorry, Chelly, Nick, and Sierra had a three-way. Was that not too much? Was that not too much? You had Sierra and you had Nick having a three-way. Should Ace now feel some type of way about Nick? Should Ace be like, hey, Nick, you knew that's my girl, bro. Come on, bro. Should Ace now get vexed at Nick? That's his boy. Right? But again, I understand it might be slightly different in context and nuance, and I'm ready to do that. But let's go to actually what was said by Chelly. I think we have to go by the words that she actually said in this situation. We're going to go play by play, and then we're going to break it down. Okay? All right?
Actually do something during a challenge, it's a problem.
I don't know if I'm tripping.
I already know what you're about to say, and you're absolutely not tripping.
The whole makeout session, which I'm like, I don't know if it's because before, like maybe when her and Ace kissed.
It also just like out of everyone, why Ace?
But it's like exactly, and so that's.
So actually, this first says there, right? The whole situation, first and foremost, they're talking about she felt no way about the last time they had a kiss in the situation. But on this situation, why did Huda have to pick Ace? Okay, why did Huda have to pick Ace? Okay, and that's a fair point. Why did Huda have to pick Ace? I mean, she pied him earlier on in the season, right? When Ace wanted to get the kiss with Huda, she pied him earlier on in the season. Yeah, because Jeremiah wasn't there. Because when it comes to Jeremiah versus Ace, she gonna choose Jeremiah, right? But now Jeremiah's out there, which your boy engineered to get out of there. Now your boy's got a clean road, right? Now your boy's got a clean road. So beforehand, yes, it didn't mean nothing, but now it sees that. And I'm saying, hey, I understand that you may feel some type of way about Huda choosing Ace. What is the reason for it? Maybe because only the reality of the situation is Huda. Yes, Huda is out for herself. I'm not mad about this. They're all out for themselves, but Huda's definitely out for herself. Now they're pissed off because Huda was saying girl code, girl code, girl code, girl code, girl code, girl code, girl code. And this is not a girl code move. And they're right. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to deny that's the truth. That is the absolute truth. You're right. It's not the truth. And so when we hold in Huda, I hope we can hold Olandria the same way. I hope the audience, while they're holding Huda the same way, they can hold Olandria. And I hope you can be consistent, because Olandria too, stepping over lines when it comes to friends. I hope the audience can hold Olandria. Those who love Olandria can hold her accountable. I hope you can. I hope you can. I hope you've been consistent. I hope you've been consistent with Huda too. When she was moving wild and moving abusive, I hope you could have held her then too. I'm not saying all of you weren't. I'm just saying. I hope we're holding her too. Just gonna be saying, just want to be honest with you. Okay.
Like I'm annoyed too, because I just feel like there's not a certain level of respect like that's there, especially for her being the type of person that who tried to set all these boundaries when it came to Jeremiah and this and that.
Now let's pause it right here. That's why you're pissed. Listen what she actually said. Listen what she said. Did you hear what she said? She said for her, the reason she's a bit pissed off because she feels like when it came to Huda, she had all these boundaries when it came to Jeremiah. So she's expecting that Huda would then obey those boundaries when it came to Ace. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So in respect, she's holding Huda accountable for her own boundaries, right? In regards to that situation. But the difference is they're not open. They were not open. That's the whole point. They were not open. She made that very clear. And I mean, it wasn't the greatest way she did it. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was territorial, slightly, not slightly. It was aggressive. It was a very manipulative. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay, I ain't gonna lie to you. It was manipulative. It was territorial. It was slightly abusive. The way that Huda dealt with Jeremiah, Definitely. I'm not going to be mad at you. And I hear you. I actually understand the point you're making. My problem is you've got then to hold your own standard. Do you want that to, if you want for Huda not to move towards, you know, if you don't want Huda to move towards Ace, say it. Say it. Call her out now. It's okay to feel how you're feeling, but call her out. Don't, you know what I'm saying to you? Just call her out. But the problem is, you're not calling her out, and that's the issue. The same way you didn't deal with the Jeremiah situation, it's the same way we're dealing this now. And it's building up, and it's turning into resentment. You know? Okay, so let's look at this next. Listen.
Didn't return none of that favor whatsoever. I don't feel like I'm wrong for feeling like
No,
that.
you're not
I feel like
wrong
it
at
really
all.
was an eye-opening
Go on for it,
situation.
bitch. I would feel that way too.
I already felt uncomfortable about the whole Chris thing.
So who was she meant to go for? You told her to open herself up. Who now was she meant to go for? Chelly saying the same thing. Sierra's like, I would feel the same way. Sierra, you can't even talk. You can't even talk. You let Andrea kiss up your man. And you feel pissed off still. Like Sierra and Ace and Chelly are the same people. You're pissed off and you're not saying it. You know what I'm saying to you? You're pissed off and you're not saying it. Let's be honest. You pissed off because, and you're not saying it. Go and confront Andrea as you really want to. Talking about Chelly, I hear you. I know I hear you, but you still pissed off about the Andrea situation. You ain't said nothing. You've left Andrea too because she's my girl and I'm so cool with it. But you're not cool with it because when Iris actually questioned you, you realize you're actually pissed off and you've been dismissing your actual feelings just so you can keep Nick. Okay. Now, if Ace got hard by Huda, which I think that's what actually happened. I know that because she said it in the actual, she said it later on when she said, no, earlier on in the challenge when they were saying, and she said, oh, what is your heart racing or something else racing? Now that's on Ace. I'm sorry, if your man gets a hard on, that ain't on the person, that's on Ace. If Ace is the one getting a hard on, sis, you gotta relax. That's on Ace. Ace the one getting a hard on. Now, it don't matter because I think you would have had a hard on anyway. Okay, now everyone's talking about, I think there is more. I think there was more. Now you weren't. Now this for sure. You lot were not saying this about Jeremiah. I can guarantee you, most of you were not saying the same. The people that are saying, oh, there must be more as to why Ace and the way that Chelly's reacting to Ace and to Huda. There must be more. Y'all were not saying that about Jeremiah's situation. I want to hold you lot accountable because you know you weren't saying that. You lot were not saying there must be more. You know you weren't. Why are we now suddenly go, well, there must be more? I'm not saying there isn't more. I'm saying to you, why is it that you must be like, suddenly it's like there must be more? We weren't saying it with Jeremiah and Huda. We weren't saying, damn, the way that Jeremiah is shutting down, the way that Jeremiah is feeling the way towards her, there must be more. There must be more that she was saying and doing. There must be more. Come on, guys. You know what I mean? Come on, guys. You know what I mean? Come on. Okay. And besides, like I said, you still got to hold Ace accountable, but we're going to go there. You know what I mean? We're going to go there, but don't worry about it.
And her whole thing is like, I did it for you. I did it for you.
Right.
I mean, I guess I'm going to explore him too, but it's for you. And it's like, no, you did that for you. But now, like,
Now that's an important point. That is irritating. Her Huda saying, I did it for you. If she's saying that is irritating and it's a lie. Now that's clear manipulation. Okay, I want to be very clear. If Huda is saying, I did it for you, it is a lie. Huda, you did it for yourself. There is nothing here you choosing Ace and grinding on him and kissing him. That is for anybody else but you. And you just need to be accountable. Okay? All right? You just need to be accountable. Like if Huda, and remember, Jeremiah said that Huda's kind of selfish. She only thinks about herself. Let's be honest. Okay? All right? So, you know, I want to be very, very fair about that, right? So in that particular instance, you know, I would say that there was, in that particular instance, I would say that, listen, look, I agree with Chelly on this particular part. It's definitely rubbish on his part, and it's manipulative. So that one, I would agree with her, and that will piss you off as well, because sis, why are you telling me it's for me when it's not for me? You know it's not for me, it's for you. And it's okay to say it's for you. It's okay to come out and just say, look, it's for me. But Huda's afraid. Oh, Huda's always afraid of doing something really and truly. And she wants to hide behind I didn't mean it. Or, you know, because she's always afraid of being called out. And that's what I'm saying about when you allowed her behavior to exist earlier on in the villa. That's what you created a monster. You created a monster. You know what I'm saying to you? So if she said that, then that would be lying. You know what I'm saying to you? So here we go.
Cover it like it's for me, like it's a gift and a favor, because it's not.
Like, it's not the first time that she said some shit where it's like, oh, I do this for my friends, I do this for my friends. No, you don't. You do it for you, and that's okay. Stand on that, but don't try to push this narrative that.
And I absolutely hear that. You know, she has to stop pushing that narrative. I would definitely say that in that aspect as well. Oh, I think, was it to do the Chris thing? Yeah, that might be okay. So it might have been for the Chris thing. Yeah, that would make more sense because I can see her saying, obviously, I'm doing it for you. I'm bringing Chris back into the villa. Don't worry. I can see her saying that. You know what I mean? And maybe there's a part of her that is thinking that. You know, there's a part of her thinking about really and truly the truth of this. It's not for you. It's for herself. She wants to see. She liked Chris. She thought Chris was nice. She went after Chris. You know what I mean? And it's okay. You know, that's understandable. Like, sis, you went after Chris because you wanted Chris. It's, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to lie. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. You don't have to lie. It is for you and no one else. And that one, I definitely understand that in Casa.
It's for me because it's not for me. It's not.
First of all, we're all having fun tonight.
No, but she's mad at me. Like, and I don't want her to be mad at me. I love her.
Yeah, of course.
And that's the problem with Huda. Huda's always biggest thing is that she doesn't want people to be mad at her. And so that's why she plays victim sometimes. It's a manipulation technique, right? So you don't want people to be mad at you. So you learn how to manipulate people so they don't get mad at you. And that means you're not going to always be authentically true and honest to what you actually feel. That's the biggest issue. Huda always afraid of people are going to be disappointed or angry or hurt. And actually but the reality is she has desires and wants. And that's actually what makes her destructive. Because Huda's not honest about what she actually wants, it makes her destructive. Because what ends up happening is you end up doing it anyway. So then you look like you're incongruent and you look like a liar because really and truly, you wanted a drink, you wanted a drink, you said, I don't want the drink, and then you stole the drink. That's the biggest issue. You know what I'm saying to you? That's the biggest issue. All right? That's your biggest issue.
Like, maybe she is a little bit like heated right now.
I think she's protective of Ace, and I get it. I think she wasn't expecting me to pull him or something. I was like, okay, fuck it.
And also, the biggest issue for Chelly is that also Chelly actually said that she felt a type of way about the Chris thing. She actually felt uncomfortable. Chelly felt uncomfortable with the Chris thing. Let me just go back. I want you to listen. She was uncomfortable with the Chris thing. When did she tell Huda that she was uncomfortable with Chris? Can someone tell me? Can someone tell me when did Chelly tell Huda she was uncomfortable with Chris? The Chris thing. Someone tell me. When did Chelly tell her? To my knowledge, she hasn't told her that. To my knowledge, she said, cool. Please someone tell me. Tell me when Chelly actually said she was uncomfortable with Huda going after Chris, because I don't recall it. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. When you start feeling some type of way and you don't say nothing, it builds up into resentment. You should have said that. You should have told Huda that.
Respect, like that's there, especially for her being the type of person that who tried to set all these boundaries when it came to Jeremiah and this and that. You didn't return none of that favor whatsoever ever. I don't feel like I'm wrong for feeling like that.
You're not
I feel like it
wrong at
really
all.
was an eye-opening situation.
Her saying the eye-opening, I was like, okay, baby, you know, I hear you, but we gotta be understandable that this ain't it. You know what I mean? You know. Let me get this clip. I got a clip for you guys. Hold on. I want to get to where she mentions about being uncomfortable with the Chris thing. Okay, she already felt uncomfortable with the Chris thing. So let me share this clip for you guys. Okay, so you can see what was said.
Like
No,
that.
you're not
I feel
wrong
like
at
it really
all.
was an eye-opening situation.
I would feel that way too.
I already felt uncomfortable about the whole Chris thing, and her whole thing is like, I did it for you. I did it for you. I mean, I guess I'm gonna explore him too, but it's for you. And it's like, no, you did that for you. But
Now she felt uncomfortable with the Chris thing. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. You didn't say anything. You didn't say anything. And because you didn't say anything, now we're here. When you don't say something and it builds up and it festers, that's your issue. Right? You should have called her out. You should have called her out. You should have said, I don't feel comfortable with you actually going after Chris. And here's the real reason why Chelly is not comfortable with the Chris situation. Not just part of it is because of what if she said, oh, Huda said, obviously, I'm doing it for you. Yeah, that'll be annoying. Call her out and say, hey, it's not for you. You're doing it for you. It's fine. Right? That's cool. Right? The reality of the situation is because Chris is a pawn in Chelly's game. I want to keep it a buck. These are all manipulators. So you have to understand how this works. Chelly has Chris. I think she likes him, but not. But right now it's Ace. But the whole point is, it's about control and the manipulation of it. The problem is that if Huda gets her claws into Chris, there is less power for Chelly to maneuver with Chris. There's less power. If Chris ends up being in a space where she gets to explore Chris, right? Rightly so, she gets to explore Chris. And the only way she'll be able to explore him is if Huda picked him. Because who else was going to pick him? You know what I'm saying to you? Right? Who else was going to pick him? So at that point, right? At that point, when now Chris is in the villa, you get to have Chris and you get to have Ace. But you don't like the fact that Huda has a clause in Chris because it means you have less power over Chris. And that means Chris has power, so he can move how he wants. He no longer is dependent on you. So now that means less power for you to maneuver with Ace. And now Ace is now kissing up on Huda. He's got some power because actually he could actually go with Huda. That is now where also the issue is, because you see Ace and Chelly are power players. They are power players. Are you not deep in it? So when we try to make Chelly this altruistic person, she's not, and neither is Ace, and neither is Huda. They are all out for themselves. It just looks like they're out for people. No, they're out for themselves. Because why would Chelly even like someone like Ace, who is a controller? Do you know what I'm saying to you? Why would you know what I'm saying to you? Why would you lean towards Ace, who's a controller, who really wasn't giving you what you needed? He was giving bits and bobs, but he was controlling the villa, having never committed to anybody. You see the way that Ace was kissing Iris? No, do you see the way that Ace was? Did you see the way that Ace was lip-syncing up Iris? I don't want to hear something. Girl, you getting mad about the fact that Huda was all over Ace. Can we not forget, girl, your legs were spread eagle for Chris. No. Can we have a real conversation? Your legs were spread eagle for Chris. Whilst your back was on the ground, your legs were doing V shape. Your legs were here, babe. You were here. You were here. You were like this. I don't hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. Your legs are spread wide, eagle, on the ground for Chris. While Ace is also getting his thing as well. You should have just moved on. You should have just said, listen, I have felt a little bit jealous, but you know what? It is the game, is the game. Okay? All right? The game is the game. I'm sorry, you had your back on the ground with your legs spread eagle with Chris in between those legs? Lips in you? Do you think that was not too far? Oh, okay. You didn't think that was too far? Okay. Okay. Chelly went back in for, not only did she kiss him twice, she went back for more. She went the first time and then went back in again. Went back in again. Come on, Chelly. Come on. I'm not saying that you don't have the right to be frustrated, but I'm saying to you that there's a frustration. Now let's talk to Huda and be honest about it. Hey, I felt some type of way. I did. But you know what? I realized it's me. I just feel some way. I'm a little bit insecure in this moment. Like everybody else is. That's what it is. You know? I get it. You know? But baby, you know? We're all out here doing the most. Okay? Now the other issue is this. And that's why I said it's not a jealousy thing, but it's a jealousy thing, but in a way of not like, oh, I'm jealous over, but rather I'm jealous in the moment. I know that you have something with him. Listen to this.
That's actually out.
Who was his heart rate up
It
for?
did make me a little bit
Huda. You said what?
Huda.
Wait, Huda rates his most?
Yeah, Ace is the most.
Yeah, that's the face. Exactly. That's the face. Yes, that is it. That is what the frustration is. The frustration also is the fact that Ace's heart was raised by Huda the most. And it's making you think about it. Raw. Is there something there? It's making you think. It's making you think. That's why we're saying raw. Yes, of course. Of course. So I understand it. Listen, it's frustration. I understand it. I get it. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying to you? Right? But time to play the game. You know what I'm saying to you? Hey, Chelly, this is the time to put your best back, put your ping on. You know what I'm saying to you? Don't let this girl put you into that space, bro. Go and have a conversation with her. You know what I'm saying to you? Go and have a conversation with her. What, you know what I'm saying to you? Wasting time here talking to the girls talking about this. You know? So I'm just saying, all of this is cooked because really and truly, this is all manipulation for everybody. You know. Now the go too far situation. Okay, let's address this go too far situation. Look, I understand. Okay, I do understand what people are saying. They want to say that it was too far. I think the whole show was too far. Personally, I think the show was too far. I'm seeing people with their balls in people's faces. I'm seeing nobody kissing Nick, but kissing Sierra. I'm seeing three-way kisses. I'm seeing people that back on the ground. I'm seeing people in the air. I saw Ace lipsing up Iris. I mean, he was lipsing Iris. Like he grabbed her, picked her up, and started lipsing her blood. Yeah. I'm seeing Pepe behind Sierra, lifting her head up and lipsing her like a Spider-Man, a movie, right? I'm seeing Olandria with her ass in Brian's face. Okay, right? So we want to talk about going too far, and everyone keeps making their own assumptions, saying that she must have thrown a kitty cat in his face. Well, all we actually saw was her doing a reverse cowgirl on his balls. So it wasn't necessarily in his face. She threw the reverse cowgirl, which she has done previously. This is not a new move. We've seen her do reverse cowgirl before. This ain't a new move. Okay, it's not a new move. The reality situation is there has to be boundaries. You have to say boundaries. Yeah. So I'm for now, I'm not gonna shoot her down right now. The whole thing for me was too sexual. You got your back on the ground, legs up. I don't want to hear no one about too far. Have a conversation with yourself. Backs were on the ground. I just need to understand that. Backs were on the ground. Now, was everybody looking? Absolutely. Here's why everyone was also looking. Because they forget that also Ace was somebody who was also very strategic. That's why the boys were looking at Ace, because Ace has always been strategic. So now he's going after Huda. They're looking at, whoa, you and by the way, can we also okay, I'll play the little, I don't play much of the clip too much. Okay, all right. Let me just I want you to pay attention. I don't even want to play it too much. Listen, hide your kids, okay? If you shouldn't be watching with your kids anyway. I'm sorry. You shouldn't be here watching with your kids. So if you got kids, let them turn away now, because this ain't for the kids, okay? We're about to show them. We're about to review the tape again. Somebody had their legs in Chris's face. That was Huda. Her legs were in his ass was in a ponsoir. And you're saying it's too far. No. Huda had her legs like this. I can't even do it. My arms are too thick. She had her legs like this in Chris's face. Chris's face was literally in her pissoir. And you think what you were doing with Ace was too far? Baby, you got to talk about all of it if you're going to talk about some of it. All of it was too far. Baby girl, it was all too far. So let's just review the tape. Please, if you've got kids, take them away. This ain't it for the kids. Okay? Look what's going on. Now, this looks like a two-way thing for me. Okay? All right? Ace looks as much in this situation as Huda does. And the games, and here's my issue with this situation. The games have always been a place where people take out their frustrations and start kissing people like they want to kiss them. Should Sierra now be angry at Nick the way that he was kissing up Olandria in those challenges? Should she? Because the way that Nick was going about those challenges, you'd think that this wasn't abnormal. I just want to be honest with you, right? So this was go time. It's a challenge. That's the whole point. Now, if you don't want to play these challenges, you've got to make sure that you say, "What's my boundary? I ain't gonna do this." Now you got to look what Jeremiah was doing. You know what I'm saying, Chu? Meanwhile, you're saying it's too much. You were there on the back of your back was on the ground. Look at this. Look at Chelly. Look where your legs are, Chelly. No. Look where Chelly's legs are. No socks, no shoes, barefoot on the ground, in between. Chris is up in there, 6'8", all up in your grills, all up in between your legs, hotting it up, in between pissoir. Come on. You want to talk about someone else in the behavior, baby? You're back. Come on. You can't tell me about it's too far. That's too far. That looks like you look like you're having sex. You might as well have sex. You might as well had it. At that point, you might as well had it. You might as well had it. You may as well had it, because at that point, baby, legs were almost doing the toe point. Your toes were doing almost a toe point. Darling, let's relax. Let's not talk about people. Let's not talk about the people when your legs are almost doing a pointed toe points. Sis was doing the Hollywood sex position. I'm just being honest with you. Let's be honest. Hollywood sex position. I just want to we got toes on a Hollywood sex position. I'm just being honest with you. Okay? All right? I just want to be honest. So we want to talk about someone else doing the most, baby. People were rocking. Okay? The whole thing was too far. So for the village to talk about her doing, for the villagers to say that Huda was doing too much, get the frick out of it. They're all doing too much. They're all doing too much. You think it's not too much with your legs in the air, spread eagle? I don't want to back Huda. I don't. I want her out. I'm not forgiving her for the fact what she did to Jeremiah. I think she's abusive in what she did. I want her out. So I'm not here to defend her. But the reality of the situation, you're all doing too much. It's all nasty. You know what I'm saying to you? It's all nasty. So if we're going to talk about it, we've got to talk about it all. We've got to talk about it all. Now, here's what happened. Here's what happened. Here's what happened. This is why Ace has to be accountable, and for me, rather than Huda. Whose hands on whose ass here? I just want to be honest. Look where Ace's hands are. Look where Ace's hands are. Look where Ace's hands are. Just in case you can't see it, let me zoom in for you so you can see it a bit more clear, because you know the HD, not H, not HG. Look where the hands are. Whose hands are those? Because it doesn't look like she's holding her own ass. It looks like Ace is holding those ass. Okay? Now, she's already in a situation. Okay? All right? That's his arms on her ass. All right? So in that point, okay, I just need you to pay attention to what's going to happen next. I want you to understand what's about to happen next. Okay? Ace has been waiting for this moment. A moment like this. Some people wait a season. A moment like this. Some people wait a series. A moment like this. Look, I want you to see what's going to happen next. Pay attention to what happens. Are we rocking? Who's rocking who? Because it was Ace holding the ass, rocking it, blood. Okay? It was Ace holding it and rocking it on himself. Okay? It was Ace rocking it and holding himself. But like I said, people can't talk about people doing too much. People can't talk. Everyone's saying, well, Pepe said it. Don't let me go and draw. Do not let me go back into the archive and draw out what was happening to Pepe. Because somebody was bouncing on Pepe. Somebody was bouncing on Pepe. Let's not talk about doing too much. You don't know too much. You know what I'm saying to you? You don't know too much. Okay? You don't know too much. Now, Chelly obviously looked a type of way. This is where Chelly looked at it. Okay? Chelly, look at her face. Oh, okay. That's what we're doing. But that's not even just. Okay? That wasn't even just. All right? That wasn't even just. You know, she looking at it going, wow, is that what we're doing? Yeah, of course. Are you forgetting what you were doing? Your ass was on the back of the floor. Are you forgetting what you were doing? No. Are you forgetting what you were doing? You're both simulating sex. I just don't understand. You think you see, and when jealousy presents itself, we have to be honest with it, it's jealousy. And it's not jealousy over someone, it's jealousy of the moment. You know? We have to say jealousy of the moment. Not necessarily you're a jealous person, but just jealousy of the moment. It happens. We've all been there. Look. You know, we've all been there.
That's some crazy shit. I was so disrespectful.
Now here, boom. That's the part there. Boom. when Huda goes for the turnaround, Huda said, I'm not done with you just yet. I've not finished with you just yet. We have to turn around and get the hook up the leg and she said, let me reverse the thing now. Boom, boom, boom. She let me reverse the thing now. You understand what I'm saying to you? So sit down upon it, sit down upon it. Oh, this was wild. Yeah? Sit down upon it, sit down upon it. Look what's happening here. Okay? Now she looking back, thinking some type of way, but sis, you was in a position yourself. Now the Islanders are not even looking. Really and truly, only Taylor is. Pepe ain't even looking. Pepe ain't even paying attention, blood. No, let me zoom in for you. Pepe ain't even paying attention, blood. Yeah? Pepe's elsewhere, blood. Pepe looks like he's looking in a different direction. Only Taylor's looking, he's rocking up his neck. Ollinger crocking up his neck. Nick ain't even looking. Oh, Nick ain't looking. It's Eli not even looking. The rest of the guys are focused on whatever they're talking about. Okay? All right? So she about to reverse this thing now. Okay? She about to reverse this thing now. Okay? She about to reverse this thing now. Now, the reverse around, crazy. The flip that she does, the turnaround was swift. Okay? It was swift. Woo, baby. The turnaround was swift. Swift. Now I want to watch it. Watch the turnaround.
Like,
boom. She said, turn around. Leg up. Boom. Now, they didn't show it. And they said it might have been more, but I think all she did was reverse cowgirl. There was nothing left to show. I can't lie to you. I think all that was left to show was a reverse cowgirl. If I'm really honest with you, you know what I mean? Because the catty wasn't in her face, in his face. It was on his chest, and not even on his chest. It was on his, you know. It got to here. It's not on his face. Okay, all right. Boom. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay. Now that's something she's definitely practiced. She was smooth with it. Okay. Now it looks like she did reverse cowgirl, sat on him. That's about it, and then pulled him up. Okay. Now, if we want to speculate, we can speculate. Okay. But the reality of the situation is, we don't know. Okay. All right. But my thing is, like I already said, okay. So my thing is, anything that end up happening there, listen, I hear it.
But what the hell do you know?
I hear it, you know. But at first, they were clapping. You know what I mean? And of course, it's a challenge because it was a challenge, right? It was a challenge. Now, there wasn't. I don't think there was anything more because Chelly never mentioned anything more. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't think there was anything more because Chelly never mentioned anything more. We're talking about everyone saying it was too much. Yeah, but what was too much? Was what she done what we saw too much? Or was there more that they said was too much? We don't know. But Chelly never said anything else. Chelly never gave us an inkling that, oh, you know, there was something else that they did. No, Chelly's vexedness was not around them doing too much. Chelly's vexedness was because it's Huda doing something with Ace. You know what I mean? So I'll wait to see. You know what I mean? I'll wait to see. Maybe they'll be showing more. Maybe there'll be more conversation around what she actually did in the next episode. We'll just wait and see. Right? Right now, I'm not really seeing it. You know what I'm saying to you? Right now, I'm not seeing it because, again, the whole thing was too much. You know what I'm saying to you? You heard me?
No, it's not just a challenge. It's just a challenge.
That looked a little more than just a challenge.
Now, everyone's saying it looked more than a challenge. Yeah, when he's grabbing her ass and rocking it, it looks more than a challenge. Do you know what I'm saying to you? It looks more than a challenge. Of course, he was rocking it. You know what I mean? So for me personally, hey, I again, I get it. Girl code, do that kind of stuff. Chelly, for me, I agree with what you said there. If Chelly wants to lock it down, lock it down. Lock it down, Chelly. If you want Ace to lock it down, tell him you want to lock it down. You know? He got hard, it got awkward. It probably did. You know what I'm saying? He probably did get hard, but what do you expect? I'm sorry. You don't think that she might have been feeling a little bit moistured? You know what I'm saying to you? You're gonna hold him accountable for having for blood rushing to that place? Are you telling me that Chelly didn't have no blood rushing there? There was no feelings for her down below? After all that kissing and grinding you've been doing it? You think there was nothing going on? We just can't see it. But you're telling me nothing happened? You're not gonna hold no one accountable for that. Let's not hold no one accountable for that. Let's not hold anybody accountable for the fact that he got hard. Yes. Why would he not get hard? You know what I mean? We're all doing crazy things. We're all doing crazy things. At this point, you're simulating sex. So you're going to. If he didn't, I'll be confused. You feel what I'm saying to you? So for me personally, we ain't gonna hold someone accountable. But like, well, she was doing too much because she got him hard. What do you think is gonna happen? What do you think she was trying to do? You think that you kissing up on me, rubbing up on me, I just want you to see how much I can kiss. You trying to get me into a situation. So I hear it. You know what I mean? But anyway, listen, my time is up, baby. Okay? My time is up. They were all doing way too much. Way too much. You know, I think
Is your heart racing? Something else racing?
Yeah, something else was racing. Absolutely. And there's nothing, let's not throw that at him right now. Yeah, something else was racing. You know what I mean? Yeah, something else was racing. Darling, his past the lash was racing. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of you nasty people doing nasty things. All of it is nasty. I'm sorry, all of it is nasty. I had to skip past it a couple of times. I was like, this is nasty. Watching it was like watching soft. I just hated it. I can't lie to you. Maybe I'm getting closer to the Lord. Maybe that's what it is. But I was like, this is the nastiest season I've seen. Like other seasons, they do a little bit too much, but this season was the nastiest season I've seen. It is the nastiest season. So I don't want to hear nothing from any of them. Nastiest season all season. This has been the nastiest season. The disgusting behavior that we've seen in this challenge was nasty from all of them. People bouncing up and down, putting their thing in people's faces. People bouncing on people's nuts. It was nasty all around. People kissing on necks and chests, all this kind of stuff. It was so fun. It was so fun. Huh? Andrena bouncing up and down on Pepe. That wasn't too much. Andrena was literally bouncing up and down on what do you call it, on Pepe. That wasn't too much. But Pepe gets to talk about how this is it's more than a challenge. What do you think you were doing? What do you think you were doing? What do you think you were doing? Did you think that was normal? Do you think that did you think that was normal behavior? Brian had Chelly legs wrapped around it. No. Are we talking about too much? Look where Chelly is again. No. Let's look at this. Look where Chelly is again. Our girl Chelly again with legs wrapped around another man. This is too much. This is what you're talking about. You're talking about too much. Look where Chelly is again. This time she got the shoes on this time. That's probably where she lost the shoes the first time round. This ain't too much. Y'all be doing too much. Okay, they be all doing too much. You know, everybody do. Now look at this. This is too much. This is too much. Let me show you what's too much. This is too much. Andrena's here, butt cheeks ready to go on Pepe. 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 This ain't too much. Grind up and this ain't too much. Y'all be doing too much. Everywhere's too much. Everywhere is too much. Everywhere is freaking too much. Everywhere is too much. Everywhere is too much. Everywhere. Meanwhile, she was kissing the lips and like this while Brian was waiting over the other side. Okay? Everywhere was too much. They were kissing for so long too. No one talked about how long the kiss was. I don't want to hear nothing about being too much. You know what I'm saying to you? I don't want to hear about people being too much because everybody was doing too much. Okay? Everybody was doing too much. Okay? Everybody was doing too much. This wasn't too much? When Chelly's here, this wasn't too much? We got legs cock up. We have a leg cock up again. Not too much. Not too much. Your leg cock up again. It ain't too much. Leg cock up on the side in front of Chris. Kitty cat face in front. That ain't too much. It wasn't too much when Ace had Adrena. Leg cock up. Leg cock up. Kissing up on the neck. That wasn't too much. That wasn't too much when he cock up a leg. Dropping up the side of the neck and the ear. Andrena was on it, blood. It wasn't too much when she grabbed his head after she kissed. Huh? It wasn't too much. It wasn't too much when we were doing freeway kisses. It wasn't too much when Amaya was kissing up Ace. Why are we not angry at Amaya? Well, because you don't care for Amaya, and you know that Ace don't like Amaya. When this was happening, you didn't care because you know that Ace don't like Amaya like that. But when he was willing to kiss his enemy, his mortal enemy, he's willing to kiss his mortal enemy. You didn't think that was too much? You didn't think that was too much? The kiss that he gave after Amaya, Amaya liked him. You didn't think that was too much? You didn't think you should come and talk to Amaya? You didn't think? He spent at least a good few minutes kissing Amaya. You didn't think that was too much? You didn't see how he went off the clock? You didn't think it was too much? The boy went off the clock. The boy went off the clock. Look at this. He went off the clock. Left his boy. Look at this. Look at this. Got old boy sweating out of his pores. Did you not think this is too much? Did you not think that's too much? Did we not think that was too much? Did we not think that was too much? This whole thing was too much. Boy's lips up on another man and his boy's girl. Boys, and then they take Amaya to have a freeway kiss. And we don't think that's too much? Huh? We don't think that's too much? Honestly, it was like watching porn. I can't lie to you. It was disgusting. I want to be real with you. Okay? So for me personally, I think we need to end it here. Now, as far as I'm concerned, okay? All right? As far as I'm concerned, everybody was doing what the challenge was supposed to do. Okay? The challenge did what the challenge was supposed to do. You're supposed to kiss people on these challenges. You don't want to do that? You better lock it in like Huda did. You don't want to do that? You better lock it in like Huda did. Okay? If you don't want to do that, you better lock it in like Huda did. Now, my time is up. I got to go. Okay? I appreciate y'all. I got to go to the gym. My mission, enjoy yourselves. But let me tell you this now. Everybody was doing too much. Everybody was doing way too much for my liking in this situation. Y'all just be kissing each other. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, y'all have no decorum, no class. Ugh. Nasty behaviors. And we want to talk about people doing too much.
You know what time it is.
Just
you know what time it is.